The city of New York never truly slept. Its streets glowed under the brilliance of neon signs, the headlights of yellow cabs, and the soft shimmer of skyscrapers standing like giants against the night. For millions, it was a city of hustle, where dreams were either broken or built, but for Amelia Carter, it was more than that. It was a place of second chances. At 25, Amelia had returned from a small town in Ohio where she had spent the past few years after college. She had once dreamed of becoming a writer, telling stories that touched hearts, but life had not made it easy. The weight of expectations, bills, and her own self-doubt had slowed her down. Yet something inside her refused to give up, and when she received an offer to work as a junior editor at a publishing house in Manhattan, she packed her bags and left behind the comfort of familiarity. Her apartment was a modest studio in Brooklyn with creaky wooden floors, one tall window, and a view of the bustling street below. It wasn't perfect, but it was hers. Every night she would sit by that window with her laptop, writing little pieces that no one else had read, stories she was too afraid to share. On her first morning at work, the city felt alive in a way that overwhelmed her. People hurried past her in polished suits, the aroma of coffee and bagels filling the air, horns blaring in a kind of chaotic harmony. She clutched her tote bag nervously as she stepped into the tall glass building of Harrison and Blake Publishing, her new workplace. Inside, the lobby was pristine, marble floors, modern art on the walls, and a constant stream of employees buzzing around. Amelia felt like the smallest piece in this vast puzzle, but it was there, on that very first day, that she met Ethan Walker. Ethan was in his late 20s, sharp-featured with kind brown eyes, his sleeves rolled up as if he wasn't afraid to get lost in work. He was an assistant editor too, though a step ahead of her in experience. When their eyes met across the office, Amelia felt an odd sense of calm, as though the chaos of the city had momentarily faded. "First day?" he asked with an easy smile, as they both waited for the elevator. "Yes," Amelia admitted, trying not to sound nervous, "and already questioning my choice of heels." He chuckled softly. "That's how New York breaks you in." "I'm Ethan, by the way. Amelia." The elevator dinged, and they stepped in together. What Amelia didn't realize was that this brief introduction was the start of something that would change her life in ways she couldn't imagine. Days turned into weeks, and Amelia slowly found her rhythm at work. She spent hours editing manuscripts, learning the ropes, and occasionally sneaking glances at Ethan, who always seemed calm even in stressful situations. He had a way of noticing little things, like when she looked overwhelmed, he'd slide a cup of coffee onto her desk without saying a word. Their friendship grew naturally. Lunch breaks turned into conversations about books, dreams, and the struggles of city life. She learned that Ethan was also far from home. He had grown up in Boston, chasing his own dream of becoming a writer before shifting toward editing. "You ever feel like the city is both inspiring and suffocating at the same time?" Amelia asked one evening as they walked out of the office together. "All the time," Ethan replied, "but I think that's part of its magic. It pushes you to the edge until you either give up or fly." His words stayed with her. One rainy Friday night, Amelia stopped by a little cafe in Greenwich Village. The place was cozy, dimly lit with shelves of books and soft jazz playing in the background. She often came here to write when the walls of her apartment felt too confining. To her surprise, she found Ethan there too, hunched over his notebook. "You write?" she asked, her eyes widening. Ethan looked startled for a second, then closed his notebook quickly. "Just thoughts." "Nothing serious." But Amelia wasn't convinced. She had seen the passion in his eyes when they spoke about stories. Slowly, over more cups of coffee and late-night talks, Ethan revealed bits of his own dream, unfinished manuscripts, doubts that mirrored her own, and a desire to create something meaningful. It was strange how life brought them together, two dreamers both struggling to find their voices in a city that demanded strength. But the city wasn't always kind. One afternoon, Amelia stumbled upon a manuscript that had been mistakenly dropped off at her desk. It wasn't assigned to her, but curiosity got the better of her. As she skimmed through the pages, her breath caught. The writing was brilliant, raw, and emotional, and it was signed only with the initials E.W. Her heart raced. Could it be Ethan's? If it was, then why was he hiding it? The following days became heavy with silence for Amelia. She wanted to ask him, but feared overstepping. At the same time,